All right, what's up, my friends? Big news from Wizards. We've been waiting for, I personally have been waiting very patiently because I might be going to PAX East with Nicole and John to find out what is happening at PAX East. They said there's a big Mythic Invitational. What is that? We didn't know. Now we do. The announcement went up today, a few hours ago, that the MTG Arena Mythic Invitational will be happening at PAX East. So we're going to go over this right now, and we're going to go through, just go through step by step. I'm going to give all my thoughts on it. And the most important thing is, if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, we do not insult other streamers, and we keep things positive, and don't be shitty in either chat or the comments, or I will ban you. No problems. All right? Simple as that. All right, so $1 million tournament. Pretty insane. We have $250,000 to first, $1 million prize purse overall. We'll get to that more. It's happening at PAX East. PAX East is an insanely awesome event. I went to it a few years ago with Cedric and Jeremy Knoll from Star City. We were invited to the Twitch booth to do a live interview about the SG Tour. It was really, really awesome. I got to walk around for 2 days there, which is really, really great. PAX is awesome. It's a really, really great event. It's there's just so much cool stuff happening, and the fact that this event is happening at PAX East and not some random convention center in some random city is awesome. That's great. Big step. Love it. All right. Step 1. Who is invited? We have 56 of the 64 players are already invited to this tournament. 8 are not invited yet. We'll get to that. First up is the Magic Pro League. Makes sense. The 32 players in the Pro League, these players are all contracted by Wizards, and you know, all the platinum, most of the platinum pros from last year. A lot of big names in here, obviously, and that makes a lot of sense, right? Then we have our invitees. This is where things get a little different. This invite list is based on, I would assume, whatever Wizards wants, basically. There's no direct, tournament or numbers or whatever that puts you on this list. This list seems to just be curated by Wizards by what they want. And that's cool. I'm actually pretty cool with this. We have a Maz, Hearthstone, Hearthstone-based streamer that plays Magic. We have popular streamers like Amazonian. We have people like Cedric, major parts of the community, LSV, Newmont, popular streamers, all different varieties. Jamie Topples plays a lot of Limited. Wyatt Darby's a Pro Tour champion. Nassif's obviously a Hall of Fame caliber player. It's a pretty wide mix of Pro Tour champions, streamers, content. I'm out on the list, which is really not up to me, I guess. Hopefully one day I'll be on this list. And there's a few omissions. Everyone's saying in chat, no Hoogland and no Caleb. I'd say those are the two of the biggest omissions based on popularity of stream. Jeff and Caleb have 2 of the biggest Magic streams, and they have had for a while now. As I said on my stream earlier, Jeff being snubbed is definitely one of the bigger snubs, because considering how insane his numbers have been in the last few months. And I have a lot of respect for Jeff. Jeff does a really, really good job running his stream, and I sort of get it from Wizards' point of view, because Jeff can be somewhat inflammatory on Twitter, and he definitely takes strong opinions, and when he has an opinion with something he doesn't like about Wizards, he's very, very, very inflammatory and vocal about it. So he's kind of a loose cannon. I can sort of understand why they wouldn't invite him, but numbers-wise, it's kind of crazy. And then Caleb isn't really inflammatory and has been one of the biggest Magic streamers for the last 3 or 4 years, so kind of surprising. I'm not on here. I have no comment on that, really. I mean, hopefully I'll be on here on some point. If you are unhappy that I'm not on here, which is really cool, honestly, people are people seem riled up that I'm not on this list. If you feel strongly about it, first off, thank you. I mean, that's a really, really nice thing of you to do, because it means you care about my content. That's awesome. And I guess just tweet at Wizards. Send them an email, tweet them, contact them on social media. Whatever you feel you need to do. That's up to you. I'm not really broken up about it. I didn't expect it. I think that anyone who expected to be on this list, that's the wrong way to look at it. You shouldn't be expecting anything from anyone, because no one owes you anything for anything. End of story. So I had no expectations to be invited to this tournament, and I'm not invited, so that's fine. Whatever. So that's the invite list. That's the next 26 players, right? 56, 32, whatever. Less than 32 minus 8 players. I'll be doing questions at the end, all right? So we'll do that later, right? So that's the invite list. And a wide variety of different players from different walks of life and different parts of the game, which is really cool. From Hall of Famers to popular streamers. I like it. It's cool. So I'm totally cool with that. I have no problem with them having a mixture of pro players who are there for their accomplishments and then community members who are there because they are popular. Because frankly, this is how you make the game bigger. We have a somewhat smaller tournament where the people who are watching will know most of the players in the tournament. That's it. You know, like a 400-person pro tour, usually 3/4 of the top 8 is unknown, just by virtue of numbers. You know, maybe a little more than that, a little less than that, but you get the idea. You know, here we're looking at a top 4 that might be like Amaz, Cedric, Owen, and Siggy. And that's a really exciting top 4. You know, so I am totally cool with this. People are up in arms about it. Oh my God, these people don't deserve to be there. What do these people do? Shut up. Just shut up. Like, the games, there are still pro tours. The game is going to be growing. This is the way to grow the game, and this is awesome. And I'm saying this as someone who's people think should be on the list, and I'm not on the list, and I'm not mad about it. So I think this is great. Now, what about those remaining 8 slots? Those 8 slots are going to be off of what? Off of the February Mythic rankings on MTG Arena. So Mythic went from being worth literally 5 booster packs on Arena to the top 8 players on Mythic, I assume constructed? Yeah, constructed, okay. Qualify for this tournament, which is crazy. Arena went from not meaning anything to meaning something real fast, which is crazy and awesome. Honestly, the fact that Arena means something is really cool. So that's cool. It's gonna be a little weird. Best of 3 has come to Arena ranked, which is great as far as I know, because best of 3 is much better than best of 1 for most people. Not everyone, and best of 1's fine too, but now we have an option to play best of 3 or best of 1. I hope they've properly scaled the ranking systems so that a best of 3 match is obviously worth more than a best of 1 match because, I mean, we're playing 3 games, 2 or 3 games, not 1 game. So hopefully that'll make sense, but that's great. I know in Hearthstone, Dan Jessup, friend of mine, plays a lot of Hearthstone and has done the legend grinds before, and he says that, like, basically what it comes down to is the very last day you need to play for like 12 hours straight at the very end. If you play in the beginning, people will just pass you. You need to be playing on like the last day to really make it. I don't know how it's going to work. It's the first time. We'll see what happens. They'll publish the rankings weekly, which is cool. I would like it if the ranking system was a little more transparent as far as like MMR or how you're actually ranking up. But on the whole, I'm cool with this. This is pretty cool. And definitely exciting. Hotel and airfare, and then a lot of prize money as well, which we'll get to. So I'm cool with that. 8 players from Arena, cool. Really cool. Now, prize structure. This is where things get really exciting. So first prize is $250,000. That's a ton of money. All right, $250,000. The usual purse for a pro tour or first prize for a pro tour was like 50 grand. This is an insane amount of money. And then the really cool part is this is only a 64-person tournament. All right, and 64th place is $7,500. This is the way professional Magic needs to work. You can't grind your entire life away. You finally win your PTQ. You fly out to Europe. You buy a hotel. You play in the Pro Tour, and you come in 80th place and don't cash. And all you have are some cool pictures of Europe to show for it. I did it for years. Played the Pro Tour for like 3 or 4 years. I have tons of great pictures of Japan and Europe and Paris. I cashed a tournament here or there. For the most part, at the end of it, I had nothing. Just the experience that I had from playing. And this is how Pro Magic needs to work. When you qualify for their large tournament, last place is a livable amount of money. So this prize structure is insane. Insane. This is huge. Huge for the future and health of Pro Magic. People are very scared to change. Oh no, we gotta change. We're not gonna do this. What about the Pro Tour? What about this? What about my Platinum people? This is how you do it. All right. Change is hard, but this is sustainable. This is the future. All right. Prize structure A+. Conqueror says in chat that they qualified for 3 Pro Tours, couldn't even afford to go. That happens. You're not guaranteed money. How can you go if you don't know if you can afford it? You know. So huge. Let me come to the format. This is where things get a little dicey. I'm extremely excited about almost this entire announcement, aside from 2 things. 1, I'm not invited. And more importantly, 2, is the format. So the format is going to be double elimination. They're calling it duo standard. So you bring 2 standard decks. They can be exact copies of each other. They can be completely different. They can be slightly different. So 2 60-card decks. Then, match play. It's a best-of-3 match, but you're not sideboarding. You just get a random deck, and they get a random deck, and you play. Game 2, you switch and play your other random decks. Then game 3, each player picks the deck they want to play. So, this is weird. This is very convoluted. I understand they're trying to keep with the best of 1 thing. I understand how big they are on best of 1. I'm not super big on it. I think best of 1's great for some of the player base. I don't think that best of 1 is awesome for competitive play. I think sideboarding is a huge part of tournament magic and a huge part of what the game is and how it works. We've seen on the best of 1 ladder on Arena, it's a never-ending pool of mono red decks and turbo fog decks because those are the polarized decks in the format that sideboards attack heavily. But in best of 1, it's just, you know. So I would say that the Arena format for best of 1 is not great. It's fine, it's fast, it's fun, but as far as being really competitive, that's the one spot where I'm a little more old-timey and I'm not willing to be like, all right, look, like, this is still a competitive, serious game. You know, like, I don't see playing a match of best of 1 Turbo Fog versus Mono Red or whatever. You know, like, that's a little scary. And then you only have 2 decks. They're decided randomly. There's not a lot of strategy. I know in Hearthstone, you bring like like 4 or 5 decks, and you get to try and, like, instead of sideboarding, the loser gets to, like, choose their deck for the next match or whatever, or so on and so forth. So this doesn't have that. So this is pretty bad in my opinion. I'm not really excited about this setup for the actual tournament. I'd much prefer just you bring a standard deck with a sideboard and play best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3 is still part of Arena. You know, like, it's not gone yet. Sorry folks, I'm a little sick, so I'm just keeping myself together. So this is the part that the only part of this that I'm really very skeptical about. They did this a little bit for the World Champ playoff between Seth and, oh boy, I forget. That's bad. That's bad on Wizards marketing that a pro Magic player, doesn't know who the Player of the Year playoff was between. And I mostly know because Seth's my friend. And they had it where they both brought like 4 decks, and they played best of 7 with no sideboarding. You just like change decks every rounds or whatever. I'm not afraid of them trying new things, but this doesn't really seem like it. So this I'm skeptical about. I'm not willing to just like, you know, this is stupid, I hate this. But this, I'm concerned about this. So we'll move on. Tournament structure. Thursday and Friday, they're doing the tournament in pods of 16 players. Double elimination flights until 4 players from each flight remain. Awesome. Awesome. It's so easy to lose players in a 400-person Swiss tournament. Having a small pool of players makes it very, very easy for coverage to follow each player individually. You know exactly who's playing. And then splitting it up over each day is awesome. One day, these 16 players. You'll know everyone's name. You'll know all the results. Awesome. Fantastic. Love it. Pod-based play. This is used in StarCraft. Other esports. Love it. You saw this at the Players' Championship. Players champs with 16 players total. Right? It was 24. No, it was 16. Yeah, 16. Yeah. Worlds was 24 1 year, whatever. The point is that a small pool of players is fantastic because it allows you to know every player of a tournament. You build stories. You're able to see each player. You get to see the possible matchups. You know everyone who's playing. Very exciting. Great idea. Love it. 16 player, four double elimination pods. The 4 winners of those pods move into a final double elimination pod for the final 4. Not single elim in the top 4. Still interesting, but I like it. Love it. Great idea. Fantastic. All being streamed in PAX at the arena. Awesome. Love it. Perfect. Excellent. Arena Mythic Championship. This is the Pro Tour. It's fine. That's basically it. So, all in all, I'm pretty stoked about this. I think this is very good for the game. It's very esportsy. I love it. The money's great. It's pretty easy to parse aside from the actual format. Players are going to know most of the names there. I like it. So I will open the floor to questions now. I will do about 5 minutes of questions. Be respectful, of course. As I said in the beginning of this, any insulting of other streamers or other players will not be tolerated. You'll be banned instantly because we don't do that here. And let's keep it positive and constructive, you know? So, questions, go nuts. And then, Gnaw, new sub, what's your name, where you from? Welcome, my friend. Is a poor place to try new things? I agree and disagree. I like that they're not afraid to try new things. Wizards has been a very, very stagnant company for a long time. They've just never changed the way they do things. The coverage stays the same. Tournaments stay the same. 15 years, it's not working, and they're blowing it up, and I like that. I like the braveness and the ability to try new things.
Hi, Super Nintendo.
Do I think streamers will have to change their language in order to go far? Well, like cursing and stuff? I don't think so. Will I make a hard push to be in the next one? I mean, they haven't said what the criteria to be in these players is. There are streamers here who have more viewers than me and less viewers than me. There are Magic players here with more accomplishments than me and less accomplishments than me. They've not made it clear how you get on this list, so I have nothing to push for in that regard. I'm going to keep doing what I do, put on a good show, try and have a good stream and a good YouTube channel, and whatever happens, happens. What else can I do? Will I be trying to grind into the tournament? I don't know. I don't know if I will have the time necessary to grind to the top 8 of the ladder. I might try. We'll see how it goes. We'll do it on stream, but we will see. Other questions? Top 8 is a very high bar. I mean, yeah, the minimum prize in the tournament is over $7,000. It should be a high bar. Missed out on a chance to invite the greatest golfer of all time. Happy Gilmore. Deck choosing RNG. I kind of agree. I really don't like how the deck choosing is random. If there was some sort of cool strategy with, like, I bring a bunch of decks and I try and metagame my deck against your deck, that's kind of cool. But it being random just seems dumb. Thoughts of separate ban lists for Duo Standard and Regular Standard? I don't know. Duo Standard seems like an experiment, honestly. This tournament will be played on Arena, I assume. They didn't actually say that. I assume it's being played on Arena, and I assume all the players will be present at this tournament. It's not actually made clear to me. What will I do better? I'm just going to keep trying to improve my content. Bear with Two Guns, you are banned. Next one will be YouTubers. Yep, who knows? Do I think this has the potential to ruin Paper Magic in the future? No. Paper Magic is doing great. The GP sold out, like in a heartbeat. All the pre-releases were sold out. Arena is great for Paper Magic also. This is good for the game. And until I see otherwise, I'm not going to be putting on its tinfoil hat and trying to be like, oh my god, they're killing Magic. And 702, absolutely they care about views. That's the point. For the All-Star game for baseball, did they invite the player who has the highest batting average, the player who has the most, is the most popular? That's the point. You draw people in by doing that. This is an invitational. This is not a pro tour. This is an invitational. It's the Mythic Invitational that they invite people to that they want to invite. That's how it works. Why not limited? Limited's not fun to watch. Agree. Best of ones. Rough. It's on Arena. Okay. I assume Arena and all players will be present playing on the computers there, I assume. Given the issue of coverage, my concern with the lack of coverage, I mean, SCG is great. I don't care about Grand Prix. SCG is doing an awesome job. So everyone gets flights. Don't think any player in this tournament is going to have trouble buying a second deck for their Arena account. So not really a cash grab there. Surely Decisive, I couldn't agree more. They timed RTR or Return Ravnica 3 with Arena perfectly. They did a fantastic job tying in the launch. The pre-release code gets you a free draft in Arena. Excellent, excellent launch. Wizards usually screws things up, but they nailed their Arena launch. Nailed it. More questions. This is a marketing stunt for PAX East. It's a pretty expensive marketing stunt. And why is that a bad thing? Cedric. Any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But that's the gist. That's the gist. I'm pretty freaking stoked about this. And again, I'm someone who you could say was snubbed if you want to say that. I'm not going to say that. You can say that if you want to. And I'm stoked about this. Who do I think will win? I'm going to say that I'll call my shot right now. I'm going to say Mike Seacrest wins this tournament. It's going to be on Twitch. Get on Mythic. Won't they see a whole bunch of fog decks that are very boring? I mean, maybe. Maybe. Why haven't they announced anything for the paper? Honestly, they probably don't know what they're doing yet, which is scary. Which is definitely scary. But scared money won't make money. Can we start a fantasy league? That's possible now because we have an actual league of 32 players. So you could do that if you want to. Really, really cool. So questions are slowing down a little bit in chat, so we're going to call it. Overall, like I said, I'm pretty excited about this. This is very big for Magic. This is the next step if Magic wants to step into the year 2019 and not stay back in the year 2003. Arena looks like a program programmed in 2019. Magic Arena looks like a program that was programmed in 2003. And this looks like a tournament structure for 2019 as well. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'll get to play one of these one day. Do I think that Melvin the Muppet was not invited because he's a Muppet? Does Wizards have anti-Muppet agenda? I ain't touching that one with a 10-foot pole. All right, everyone. So thanks for watching my rant per se. My thoughts on the Mythic Arena, the Arena Mythic Invitational. Appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Of course, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow on there. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out the Twitch channel. Check out my sponsors, of course, CoolStuffInc.com. Promo code Jim5, 5% off, and BCWSupplies.com for 10% off. Use promo code Jim10. Okay? Sounds great. Everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.